Are you already invested in the traditional stock market? Perhaps you see the gains that cryptocurrencies make, but you're not quite ready to make the full leap yet. What if I told you there are stock tickers that you can use to take advantage of cryptocurrency gains right now in your traditional brokerage account? Well, today, that's exactly what I'm going to do. Let's jump in. All right, everybody, welcome. And here we are. I'm going to tell you about 7 tickers that you can get at right now on your brokerage account, your IRA, or if you're lucky, 401k. I know the 401k I have at my job, we don't have as many options as others, but if you're fortunate enough, have at it. The reason I thought this is important is because I know a lot of people out there. Uh, Maybe you're already well versed in brokerage accounts. You got a Fidelity account, Vanguard, whatever, um, and maybe you want to get the benefits of holding or being exposed to cryptocurrency, but you're not ready to uh, open your own wallet yet, or you don't want to have to custody your own coins. I know some people are probably turned off by that. These 7 tickers that I'm going to show you are a way to I believe get that same exposure without the risk, if you will. So let's jump right in. The first company I want to tell you about is Grayscale, and here's their website. I will include all the company websites in the description. Um, but you can go to Grayscale here and you can read about them. They're a large digital currency asset manager. They have 2 funds that I want to tell you about today. That's being GBTC and ETHE. I guess GETH probably was already taken. I don't know what. You'd have to look that up. They do have other funds, but I'm I'm a big Bitcoin guy. You probably figured that out from the last video. I do believe Ethereum's got a lot of potential as well. Some of these other ones that they have funds in, I'm not as big of a fan of. If you like them, have at it. Um, but anyway, going back to GBTC, it's a. Uh, I'm not going to get into a huge rundown of what GBTC is, but it's a fund that holds Bitcoin. So we'll look at the ticker for it. Uh, one day doesn't tell you much. 5 days doesn't tell you much. But when you start looking at 6 months and a year, you can see, a year, 6 months. Well, let's go to a year, 1 year out. So January 21st, a year ago, it was at $9.74, and you can see now it's at $38.06. Probably going to go a lot higher if Bitcoin goes higher. I do own this one, and I would suggest you give it a look too. Um, the Ethereum Trust, it's the ticker is ETHE. You can see that up here. Um, this one also is a good one to, I think, this is my personal opinion, to look into. We'll zoom this one out. Now Ethereum has been on a different price has been, it's been up and down a little bit more than Bitcoin. They had some highs and then lows, but I believe this one's going to have probably bigger gains in the near term than the Bitcoin Trust. So that's one they do have a digital large cap fund. That's a, let's see, GDLC. Now this one I don't quite get because it contains Bitcoin, Ethereum, Bitcoin Cash, which I'm not a big fan of, and Litecoin, which I'm kind of neither here nor there on that. But I did the math on these per share, and it's roughly about $14 of Bitcoin per share, $4 of Ethereum, and then it's like it was in the under $1 of each of these. So I don't know. I personally I wouldn't invest in this one. I would just go straight and get some GBTC and ETHE. But that's just me. The next one is Bit Digital. Here's their main page. They're mainly into Bitcoin mining. I believe this is a Chinese company. If you're not aware, uh, a lot of there's some controversy in the Bitcoin community because a large portion of mining is done in China. Now people say, well, they're going to take over Bitcoin. I will say I don't think that's going to happen because it's not in anyone's interest for them to try to take over Bitcoin, because as soon as they do, the value is going to go to nothing if they try to usurp it in some way or hack it or take over all the hash power. Uh, but anyway, they give a cool they give you all their stats up here. That's really cool. They got a new nice little news section. I'll put this link in there as well. They give you their full hash rate, which I guess that's pico hashes. That's a crap ton of hash power. They have a total of 40,000 miners. That's ridiculous. And a total of 1,510 Bitcoin mined, which we can whip out the calculator and just kind of rough estimate that. I assume they're still holding this Bitcoin. Maybe they've sold some. Who knows? Let's just round 1,500 times. I think we're at like 37,000. That's $55.5 million. That's a lot of money. So now I will say one thing. I'm assuming, I haven't looked fully into these guys and how they power their operations. I'm gonna assume they're using renewable energy or something. They're not paying for straight electricity. That wouldn't make sense. Maybe they're burning coal. I don't know. Uh, that's something else. It's a big controversy in that big Bitcoin um, haters, if you will. They'd like to throw it out there that Bitcoin's killing the planet. I, I can address that in a later video. I mentioned the Bitcoin standard in the last video. There's a large section on in that book why it's not killing the planet and why it's needed to sustain it as a hard money. But not going to get into that in deep here. Like I said, ticker is BTBT, and we'll go over here and look at it. We'll do from a year out, and this one you can see it goes uh, since they've only been around since they haven't even been around a year or so. Um, but it kind of trends right along with Bitcoin's price over the last year. Now it looks like they've went down a little bit recently. I assume that's going to go right back up if a lot of their profit is tied up with the price of Bitcoin and unlocking new Bitcoin. All right, moving along. The next one I'm going to tell you about is MARA. It's the Marathon Patent Group. It's a digital asset company that mines cryptocurrencies with a focus on blockchain ecosystem and the generation of digital assets. They currently operate a proprietary data center in Hardin, Montana. It shows their max capacity, and they have tells details about all their miners and whatnot. And they've also got operations in North Dakota. Pretty cool. All right, so that's an American. If you want to support America, you can buy some MARA and support American hashers. All right. So looking at these guys, we'll just do a 1 year snapshot. Looks very similar to BTBT in my opinion. You see the price going way up when the value of Bitcoin goes way up, and we can assume that this one will kind of go that way down the line. All right, moving right along. The next one on my list is RIOT blockchain. They're mining. They're focused on mining also. Let's see. So they're American also. They like the others, they give a lot of cool stats on their amount of pico hashes and all that cool stuff. Uh, Tells how much energy they're using. I'm not an expert on them. I do own some of these guys. I forgot to mention I also owned ETHE. the Grayscale Ethereum trust. I own some of that. And okay, this is very similar to the other the mining companies. They're chugging right up along with Bitcoin, and I would expect that it would continue to go up if the value of Bitcoin goes up. All right, moving right along. The next one is VYGVF. Now this is Voyager. This is actually a Canadian company, so the VYGVF is their that's their American. That's so they can be listed on American exchanges. So VYGR is their Canadian stock exchange symbol. Uh, they they do they do a lot of they do several different things. I don't think mining is one of their things, but they do some. They help companies make large purchases of Bitcoin, other digital assets. They have an app that I will cover separately. This is it right here, but it's a really cool app. You can dollar cost average with that app, and it does a lot of good things. Anyway, they have here's their ticker shown in Google Finance, and it's amazing, right? All these crypto based companies, they if we overlaid all these, I almost guarantee you they'd look very similar. So that's them. And and finally the the biggest one of all, and this one gets a lot of press, is MicroStrategy. Uh, their CEO Michael Saylor is considered kind of I don't know, you consider him like the Mount Rushmore of Bitcoin evangelists, if you will. He's he's in a lot of. I don't know how this guy has time to be CEO of his company because he seems to be on every podcast that I listen to, every YouTube channel. He's got a lot of good thoughts, but they're not a Bitcoin company. They make business, and I think they make business intelligence software. But if you listen to the CEO, Mr. Saylor, talk, he talks a lot about Bitcoin, and so the reason they're on this list, and they're going to be on a lot of people's lists that are going to tell you to some that are giving similar type advice, that they're buying their company is a great way to get crypto exposure because their company has bought at this point, I believe it's like they've put about $650 million of their treasury into Bitcoin, not cash, Bitcoin. That's that's a very large amount. You're nearing $500 million by yourself. Um, it's phenomenal. They actually put out they incurred some debt in order to buy more Bitcoin. That's how much they believe in. I think it was like $250 million or something, some ridiculous amount that you know for some people like your finance news types, it was eye popping. You heard people on CNBC and Fox Business and the like that their eyes were about to pop out of their head, but he really believes in it. So to run down again, that's GBTC, ETHE, BTBT, MARA, RIOT, RIOT, VYGVF, and MSTR, MicroStrategy. Check one of them out. Buy some. Great ways to get crypto exposure without actually holding the crypto yourself. Um, the 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 headline on this video, the thumbnail was designed to get attention. Hopefully that worked. But as you can see, you can have the best of both worlds currently. I believe in the future that you will see cryptos probably listed on sites like Fidelity and Vanguard. It's gonna happen. Uh, they're gonna you're gonna be able to buy Bitcoin at your bank probably, or you'll be able to custody it. These things are happening, whether you like it or not. It's gonna happen. So you might as well be ready for it and educate yourself. So I don't have any more for this video, so I'll see you in the next one. Have a good evening, and wherever you are, I hope you're well. If this was good content for you, go ahead and give me a thumbs up and subscribe, and I'll be putting more out all the time. Have a good one. Thanks.